it's Mel, and today's YouTube video is going to be different than any other I've ever done. It's going to be different than any reading I've ever released. I sat down at my desk with the intention to bring through an easily recognizable spirit who is a past loved one of someone who will come across this video. Maybe you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, maybe a friend shared this video with you, maybe you opened an email and saw that I'm putting out this video today. The surprise was that two spirits actually ended up coming through. So I'm sharing this reading with you. It's short messages from two different spirits. And if you understand who this past loved one is, if you recognize them, I would love for you to comment below on this video or to go ahead and send me an email to let me know you recognize this past loved one. I have a woman here. She passed tragically. She takes some responsibility for her own death because she would have struggled quite a bit with alcoholism. So that played some role in the way that she passed. She makes me feel as if she struggled for a long time throughout this life. She says ever since she was a teenager and she was in high school, she had a difficult time and tried to self-medicate with alcohol. She would have been a really highly sensitive person. She grew up in an unstable family home. Her father would not have been very active in parenting, so her father would have been in and out of the house several times. This woman would have had a dog that she absolutely loved. The dog is now passed, but that was one of the places where she felt that she was able to receive unconditional love. She also makes me feel as if there is a sister who is living, and that's who most of this message would be for, along with other family members. There's a sister who is living who would have found her. She says she doesn't want you to remember the way she looked when you found her because she's giving me a feeling that there was discoloration in her face. There was alcohol involved with cause of passing, but as well as that, there may have been some other substance or water of some kind as the way that this is coming across. She feels like she's taking responsibility for this passing. It feels in the way that she would have contemplated taking her own life and may have, but there's also a possibility that she would have changed her mind at the end and not wanted that to happen, and that this is partially accidental. She also makes me feel instantly like she has so much relief for the fact that she is out of this world and out of this body and in a peaceful place. She says that it's okay that a lot of the family feels relief as well because they felt like she was someone who didn't accept help very easily, especially for this sister or other woman who feels like a family member. You would have made several attempts. You tried to call her a lot of times. There would have been suggestions for her to go to therapy and get other supports and help. A lot of those times she didn't feel that that would help, or those things didn't work out with her if she pursued them. She could be quite stubborn. She was also a really, really smart person. She was a dreamer and a visionary when she was at her best. She was extremely creative and a whole lot of fun. She had an absolute sense of humor, but she also would have struggled with her emotional health. So she would have had times where she was really happy and excited and thinking that things were going to work out, and then other times where she was just very overcome by depression. She says she feels like she didn't get the proper support. When she asked for help, there would have been times where she felt that she was not acknowledged for what she was going through by doctors. She would have been someone who did not like to take any kind of medication. Who's definitely coming up with the name Mary. Marjorie, Mary, Marie. This is the name that I'm getting a lot of times. This could be her name or it could be someone else close to her. It's very possible this is the name of someone who's still living, sending a message of love and support. She says, I wasn't an easy person to understand when I was here. I know that it could be exacerbating, or that it seemed like I didn't want to take advice a lot of the time or be logical. This world would have always felt like it was not understanding her, and sometimes too much. Again, she's a very sensitive person who is very much affected by other people and other events in the world, didn't always know how to control that. So for her, it's very much about drowning out the pain and having coping skills that are about drowning out the pain. She sends this message not just to you, but to everybody listening about the fact that we need better ways to support people who struggle. And excitement about the fact that we are finding better ways. Excitement about the fact that the darkness that we go through right now sheds light on the fact that there needs to be better support for people who struggle, that there are needs that humans have, and when they go unfulfilled, that it creates heartbreak and hardship for not just that person, but for all of us. She talks about this message of all of us being profoundly connected to each other. She does say that she would have attempted AA meetings for some time. She would have gone through a period of time where she was no longer consuming alcohol. And then she also would have suffered from a heartbreaking loss. This could be a relationship or someone else who had passed, and she fell back into old ways. Again, because she didn't feel like she had the proper support. She talks about lacking the support that would have been needed to go through deep grief, feeling isolated, feeling alone a lot of the time. Some of that would have been her own doing. Again, I get Marjorie, Marie, Mary, a name such as this that could have been her name, or again, it feels like it could be the name of someone who's still living who would know her. Forgiveness is really powerful. She doesn't need to ask for forgiveness, she says, because it's granted here when you come to the other side. There's a lot of ideas that people have about punishment. That's not true. She said she felt instantly loved crossing to the other side, relief, joy, being out of the body, and a feeling that we would describe as forgiveness, but that goes far beyond what forgiveness feels like. A full acceptance and belonging that makes me feel really emotional. And definitely with this reminder to all of us that we truly are all connected, that we look at others as separate, but we're not. And that her suffering was other people's suffering, and that there are so many still like this, and letting this kind of suffering be a light in the dark that reminds us to take care of each other. And I'll leave you with her love. I'm definitely getting the name Harry or Harrison or Henry with this gentleman. It feels as if this would be his name. Harry or Henry would have been physically disabled for much of his life. He shows me a wheelchair, which means he would have had a physical disability. He also shows me himself being in the wheelchair. So he says, this is the perspective from where I lived a lot of my life. He was an extremely intelligent person, more intelligent than most people realized. He loved to listen to stories. There's definitely someone here, a woman who would have read him stories. He says that his mother is also passed. She joins him on the other side. He did not live to be old age. Due to his disability, his life was shorter. He was somebody who's actually quite joyful and optimistic, despite the fact that he wouldn't have had use of his legs. I also feel as if there's something going on with my wrists here and my hands. They feel really tight, and it feels like I'm not able to move them very well. It's possible that he used other kinds of tools to be able to communicate at times. Such a loving soul, so cheerful. I also feel that there was something difficult about the way that I spoke. So only certain people who knew me really well would be able to understand me with ease. It feels as if he may have a sister who's still living, and he gives so much love and thanks to this sister or this woman who would have played a really important role in his life, who would have cared for him for quite a while. She took him to a lot of places. One of his favorite places to go would be a park that she would have taken him to in a wheelchair a lot of the time. She would have helped him to eat and drink at times, because that also wasn't always easy. And when they went, sometimes it seems like she would get him something that he liked to eat or drink that would be a special treat of some kind. She bathed him at different times, helped him use the bathroom. So she really was the kind of caretaker who gave so much of herself. He says, I know you were heartbroken when I left, but it's so amazing to be out of this body and in spirit. So that seems to be a theme of the two spirits that are coming through today. Different kinds of challenges they would have faced that make it an absolute relief to be out of the physical body and to the other side. I have to say that this man, again, had the brightest spirit. He seemed to have some knowing that he wanted to come here to bring joy to other people, to bring perspective to other people who would have felt that life was quite challenging, and yet they would see him and be absolutely blown away by the fact that he could be so positive, even though he wasn't able to move with ease the way people without physical disabilities can. He is highly intuitive. He says, just because I couldn't move that way doesn't mean that I didn't see things or experience things. In fact, I experienced things at such depth because he would have had an ability to sense a lot about other people. I'm also hearing the name Brandon right now. It makes me feel like this could have been a friend of his. He would have passed either in his 30s or his 40s is the way that it makes me feel, but he would have not lived to be middle-aged. He would have, again, passed young. He also sends a message of being so happy to be reunited with Mom. And if you are his caretaker or somebody who was very close to him, he gives unending thanks for all you did. He says you're an extremely sensitive spirit, an absolute empath. And he gives that same message of hanging in during this time and continuing to have your ever so open heart where unconditional love for you comes so naturally, which is one of the things that would have made you an absolutely amazing caretaker. This man's father would also be passed. It's possible that he had friction with his father a lot of the time, though. I don't know that his father was always understanding, or perhaps it was a feeling of heartbreak at the way that his son struggled some of the time. With that, I'm going to leave you with his love as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell too if you want to be notified the next time that I release a video about all things mediumship. It can be recordings of my readings, spiritual how-tos, meditations, business advice for mediums, and so much more. If you enjoyed watching that reading, go ahead and let me know below in the comments if you'd love me to put out another reading such as this. And until next time, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified the next time I release a new video about all things mediumship.